everybody, welcome back. It's really good to see you again. Alright, so a few of you have asked me, well, okay, I say a few, a lot of you have asked me to talk about this. A lot of you want me to talk about Gib versus Taylor Holder. Now, if you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, basically, there is a big YouTube versus TikTok boxing event, and that is the event where Deji will be doing his boxing comeback. If you look on the card, it says that basically one YouTuber is missing on the event, and it says you pick. So a lot of people are saying that we want Gib to be that person. Now, in this video, I'm going to be explaining exactly why Gib is the perfect person for this event. But before I do, I just want to say, obviously, on this whole event, I'm obviously going to be Team YouTube. YouTube, to me, is the better and bigger platform, and we hopefully will win every single fight. But, at the moment, it's a good idea for an event. However, there's a bit of, there's a bit of spice missing from it. I mean, personally, for me, when I'm just looking at the card, the only fight that I actually care about is probably the Deji fight. If you want to know why I care about this Deji fight, if you go back a couple videos on my last Deji video, I pretty much explain it there. But like I said, on the card, it says at the moment that there's one person that's undecided for both YouTube and TikTok. Now, for the YouTube side, I'm going to be explaining pretty much why it should be Gib and no one else. Because let's be honest, Gib is the perfect person to add that missing spice to this event. Like, the thing is with Gib, right, is you have to remember, Gib has essentially made his entire online image, his entire channel, all about the whole YouTube boxing scene, and the thing is I truly believe that Gib is by far the most passionate person about the YouTube boxing out of anyone else. And honestly, Gib is key to keeping YouTube boxing alive. And then, not to mention as well, like, this event needs someone who's crazy and like in your face, like, and Gib is perfect for that. If you know about Gib, you know his energy is just mental. The guy is so exciting to watch.
Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, it ain't up to my opponent who's on this card. It's up to the people at home. You, the viewer, you get to decide.
And if I'm honest, when this event does come along, the only time I would even pay to watch it is if Gib is on that card. If he's not on it, personally, I don't see why I would watch it. And I think most of you will agree because, let's be honest, in the YouTube boxing scene, pretty much every single one of you are with me saying that we all want to see Gib's return after he got humiliated by Jake.
First 2 minutes.
I think the balance is an issue for Gib. He's just all over the place.
Pretty much ever since that loss, Gib has done everything he possibly can in order to restore his reputation. He's tried so hard to get another fight. A little while ago, he was even trying to make his own event called YouTube Rumble, which was a good idea. However, nobody wanted to back him up. No creators wanted to back him up because everyone thought, you're just coming off as a bit desperate. Companies didn't want to back him up and basically sponsor the event because I think they must have thought that they weren't going to get enough traffic. Because although Gib is very popular in the YouTube boxing scene, he's not as big as people like Logan or Jake. Obviously, they've got the numbers. Hey, the event didn't happen and it is so it is. But despite Gib not getting the event that he wanted to do, it doesn't matter. The dude is still just as passionate about the sport and getting back into the ring than when he was fighting Jake. Because Gib is desperate to redeem himself. And personally for me, I'm desperate to see him do that as well. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that if Gib does get the fight, he will be fighting Taylor Holder, and I'm not going to say it's going to be a walk through the park, because it's not. I watched Gib's most recent video, and he basically said that apparently this Taylor kid is supposed to be the most experienced boxer out of all of the TikTokers on this card. And, I thought, okay, I don't know much about the kid, so I did some research. I found a couple videos of him basically, doing a bit of pad work, and, it's hard to learn from pad work because basically you can look good doing pads because there's nothing hitting you back. But what I did notice is the kid can throw a punch. Like, you can kind of like feel and see like when someone hasn't got a clue how to throw a punch. The kid's pretty sharp.
Show him that speed. Right hand. Nice. Longer. Nice. Longer.
Long. Nice. Oh, shit. I heard that? Damn. Step. Step. 1, 2. Step. 1, 2. Right hand. Step.
However, saying that, although he's good on the pads, you know, because the dude's quite skinny, like he's not big built. All I'm gonna say is I couldn't imagine him having a lot of power behind them punches. Yes, you might be quick, but you know, there's not going to be a lot of velocity behind them punches. The main reason why I bring this up is the thing that made Anderson Gib lose to Jake was basically Gib couldn't deal with the power. Gib couldn't deal with being punched as hard as Jake was hitting him. Whether you like Jake or whether you don't like him, you can't deny the fact the dude has got some power, as he's knocked out 2 people now. That's just facts. Like, he's got a powerful punch on him. And the main problem for Gib on that fight when he did fight Jake was essentially when Gib got in that ring, he had so much adrenaline. He was all over the place. He was like, come on, let's fucking have it. But the problem is when Anderson Gib finally started fighting Jake, you know, at the start, you could see that Gib was doing well. Like, he was actually avoiding Jake's shots. But within, you know, when Jake did finally start to land some hits, it started to go downhill. And the main reason for that was basically because Gib, in his head, right, he had all the adrenaline in the world. He was like, come on, like an excited puppy, like, come on, let's have it. But the problem is when you have that amount of adrenaline, it kind of takes over and you're not listening to what your body's telling you. I don't know if you've ever been punched or anything in sparring or just like doing, you know, messing around. But when you do get punched, it zaps your energy. Like, it sucks the energy out of you. So when Jake was punching Gib, I'm telling you, his body must have been so zapped of energy. And it made it worse because Gib's head was so strong that he wanted to just keep going no matter what. And, you know, if he's not listening to what his body's telling him and he's just going by his own mental state, you know, that's pretty much the reason why he was stumbling all over the place, because he wanted to be able to do all these maneuvers and he wanted to slip and duck punches. But when it came to actually throwing it, his mindset was in it, but his body was so tired, he wasn't paying attention. So when he did start to try and throw stuff, it wasn't working. And that's why he was off balance. He was falling all over the place because he wasn't paying attention to his body. He was just running off the adrenaline. And essentially that is why his coordination was so bad. He didn't coordinate his body and his mind, and that is basically why he lost. All I'm saying is with this Taylor guy, yeah, he could throw hands pretty quick, but he's not built the same as Jake Paul, which basically means his power would not be as good as Jake's. But the question is Gib just going to run forward throwing hands like he always does? Yeah, of course he is. He's like an excited puppy. If Taylor can outbox him, yeah, I can honestly see him winning. However, can this Taylor guy survive the pressure of the 7-figure Gibber? I just think there's like a fire in Gib where he will just do anything in order to win. And I think that's why, personally, I think he will come on top of this fight. If Gib does lose to Taylor, it's kind of game over for him, really, isn't it? Like, who's going to offer Gib any fight now? Like, he said for a whole year and a half, like, I'm going to redeem myself, I'm going to have a fight, and I'm going to have it with someone. And then for him to lose again, game over. Like, I honestly think at that point, Gib should just stop boxing and say, look, I am not a fighter. I want to go jump on FIFA or something. And, you know, if that does happen, that sucks. Because Anderson Gib, he is a massive part of YouTube boxing. Whether you like him or you don't, he does play a big part in boxing. He's one of the big names in the fights. However, if Anderson Gib does win this fight, obviously I'm just speculating here, but all I'm saying is if Anderson Gib does win his fight, and then say if Deji wins his fight, hopefully, just maybe, we might be able to see the showdown between Deji and Gib. And I think that is a fight that everybody wants to see. So yeah, Gib versus Taylor. Who's going to win? I personally think Gib has this one because everything is on the line for him. Is this fight confirmed? No, it's not. Nobody knows if it's confirmed yet. It's in the talks, but it's not 100%. So if this fight doesn't happen, I'm not saying to you right now that it is 100% happening. It's not confirmed. But anyway, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and if you're new, why not hit that subscribe button. But anyway guys, it was great talking to you again. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.